it's very important. I always say to them, it's so important for you to have the conversation with the prescriber, because there's some good evidence to show that if there's almost like a letter of permission, in the same way that the prescription is, that the prescriber writes out, I think I recommend that you come off this, and we're going to do this gradually, and go and see this psychologist or this counsellor, and they're going to help you as well, and get your family and friends on board too, because this is going to be a process over time, and you've got to be ready to do it, and you've got to get some skills, a bit of training.
Because different medications have different requirements for how quickly you can come off of them and how many stages of titration it takes and things like that. The Z drugs generally are easier than, say, the old benzodiazepines to titrate off of, but nonetheless you want to do it with some professional recommendations. And then I think what you need to do is essentially replace the drugs with other behavioral strategies that will help you sleep well. Because what we don't like to see happen is somebody says, I don't want to use meds anymore, they go off the meds, but nothing else has changed, and the sleep problems come right back. Because then they're much more likely to feel like, well, I just can't do this without the medications. So it's important to then put more formal behavioral strategies in place.
People who start their CBTI with me and they're already on medication, they do quite well, because we don't sort of take away their crutch before we give them their skills. So it's okay, people can, they can stay on the medication while they're accessing help, and then gradually can come off it. The evidence shows that the people who they're off by the end of their CBTI, if they're off the medication, they do better than people who didn't have any CBTI ever, or people who just stayed on medication alone. And it is a difficult process. It's like anyone, if you were, say, 30, 40, 50 kilograms overweight, anyone would know that that's going to be a process. It's not going to be a quick fix. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to be multifactorial, multi-layered, and sometimes some processes of, or quitting smoking, for instance, is the same, that you try with great gusto, but there's a sort of a fail. But it's not a fail. Like, it's just that sometimes it takes 3 or 4 or more times to actually get the right sort of combination of things where you can actually make the changes for good.